Hello, it's so great to be with you again. I wanted to tell you a story about when I was 23 years old, a long, long time ago. I was newly married and my husband and I decided that we wanted an adventure. So we applied for all different kinds of study grants and Peace Corps and Mennonite Central Committee and Fulbright. We said whatever we get we'll take because beggars can't be choosers. So the first grant that came back positive was my husband's Fulbright to go to South Africa. That was probably the one that I was least excited about because I was going to have a passport that was stamped to accompany husband only. One of the terms of a Fulbright grant is that family members aren't allowed to seek employment while you're in the destination country. So this was exciting. We were going to get to go on an adventure, but it was not going to be lucrative for me, and I wasn't sure how the Lord was going to take care of me. At 23, I had a lot of passions and excitement and interest, and I wanted adventure, and it sounded like my husband was going to have all the fun. But we decided to go for it. The year was 92. Mandela had been released from prison, but there was still the apartheid government. It was a time of great unrest. The democratic elections were coming in 94, but there was still 2 years of really a lot of strife and chaos to work through before that point. So we were going into a potentially dangerous and difficult situation. But we had a call from the Lord. And even I had a call from the Lord. So we said yes. In the midst of sort of grappling with what this was going to mean for me and what the Lord had for me, He led me to Jeremiah chapter 48. And as I was reading, these few passages just leapt off the page at me. And I felt like it was a word from the Lord. And it says, "Moab has been at rest from youth, like wine left on its dregs, not poured from one jar to another. She has not gone into exile, so she tastes as she did, and her aroma is unchanged." And I felt like the Lord said to me, I'm pouring you from one jar to another. You're leaving the United States and going to Africa, and I'm going to give you a new aroma. I'm going to impart things to you that I couldn't impart any other way. The work that I have for you to do, the woman that I'm crafting you to become, needs to do this, needs to allow herself to be moved and poured into another jar. And the Lord did that for us. Our time was beautiful. We ended up staying in Africa for 10 years at that stage, and then we went back for another year in 2012 as a family. So it really became a place that was very treasured and special to us. One of my favorite verses out of Psalms that comforts me whenever I start to get comfortable. Comfort is fine, isn't it? But we have to be willing to be moved. The Lord is all about progress, journey. We're going somewhere with Him. We're on a path. All the pictures in the Bible are of the Lord moving us from one land to another, moving us into something new. And we have to be willing to go. Psalm 84:5 is such an encouragement to me. "Blessed are those whose strength is in you, whose hearts are set on pilgrimage." And I'll read verses 6 and 7 as well. "As they pass through the valley of Baca, they make it a spring. The rain also covers it with pools. They go from strength to strength." So when we say yes to the Lord, when we walk, when we go on pilgrimage with Him, He allows us to turn dry, dark places. That valley of Baca was a desert. He allows us to bring new life, to bring refreshment in those places, not only to ourselves and our own families, but also to the people we encounter. So I would encourage you, as you ponder what the Lord is leading you into, that you would be willing to go on pilgrimage with Him, that you would be looking for the ways that you can bring new life into the situations that you find yourself in. And saying yes to Him is the beginning of great adventure. He takes care of us, He loves us, And He gives us the desires of our hearts. He gives us the confidence to be able to do everything that He's called us to do. I'm excited about what He has in store for you. Bye-bye.